The night sky of Vexarin 3 burned red behind her. Lyra sprinted through the fractured ruins of the old research colony, lungs tearing, boots sliding across broken ferrocrete, each breath shaking with fear and exhaustion. The scorch marks on her arms still glowed faintly from the stun rounds they had fired at her. The Syndicate hunters were close. She could hear them 4 sets of heavy metallic steps, moving in perfect mechanical precision. They weren't going to let her escape. Not after what she had learned, not after what she stole. A shard drive hung from a necklace against her chest, pulsing like a heartbeat. Every time it throbbed with energy, she felt a ripple of danger, as if the entire galaxy could sense what she carried. She ducked behind a collapsed hydra, letting her breath slow. You can't run forever. Lyra Vanth, a metallic voice boomed through the ruins. Return the drive. You don't understand what it holds. She pressed her back against cold stone. I understand enough. Enough to know the Syndicate would burn an entire planet to keep this secret. Enough to know she'd die if they caught her. Footsteps closed in, then a roar, metal, ripping, a body thudding into the dust. Lyra clamped a hand over her mouth. That wasn't the Syndicate. That was something else. Someone else. Then she heard its quiet footsteps, deliberate, human. A man stepped through the drifting smoke, illuminated by the dying glow of fires. He wore battered tactical armor, human make, but reinforced with plating she didn't recognize. His helmet was off, clipped to his belt, revealing a hard jaw, dark eyes, and a face that had seen far too many battles. He had just taken down a Syndicate hunter with nothing but a vibroblade. He didn't raise his weapon at her, but he didn't relax it either. Instead, he looked at her with an expression she couldn't read. Is this a rescue or a capture? Lyra asked, voice trembling. His reply was calm, controlled, dangerous. That depends, he said, on who you were running from. Asterisk, the man with no unit PTCH. He stepped closer, scanning her quickly but not crudely assessing wounds, stance, breathing. You're injured, he said. I'm fine. It was a lie, and they both knew it. He crouched near the fallen Syndicate hunter, flipping the metallic corpse with his boot. You shouldn't be alive, he muttered. Thanks, she said uncertainly. He grabbed the hunter's ID plate, scowled, then glanced at her again. What's the drive you're carrying? She froze. How do you? He tapped his ear. Their coms weren't encrypted. They're here for one thing. Lyra backed away a step. If you want the drive, you can't have it. Relax. He raised both hands. If I wanted it, you wouldn't still be conscious. Not comforting, not even a little. Who are you? She demanded. He hesitated for the first time. Major Eli Cross. Her eyes widened. That Eli Cross, the man the Syndicate claimed had died fighting on Archensea, the one whose disappearance started a dozen conspiracy threads across the datanet, the human veteran who had supposedly taken down a siege walker with a single antimatter charge strapped to his chest. You're alive, she whispered. Most days, he said dryly. Now answer my question. Who were you running from? Lyra swallowed hard. The Syndicate, she said. They plan to release a bioweapon that mimics a harmless atmospheric purifier. It'll wipe out entire species before they even know what hit them. Eli's brows lifted, and the proof is on that drive. Yes, he exhaled slowly, rubbing a scar on his jaw. That explains the hunters. It explains why they want me dead, she said bitterly. Then she added, quieter or worse silenced. Adil in the ASHCLA looked at the burning horizon. We need to get off this planet, he said. More hunters will come. No, she said. The moment I leave orbit, the Syndicate will flag me. They control half the lanes and all the checkpoints. He studied her a long moment. You said they'd kill you for that drive, he said. So why not destroy it? Because the galaxy needs to know, she said fiercely. And because they didn't just design a weapon for others. Her voice cracked. They designed one for humans too. That stopped him completely. Eli's single quotes, eyes hardened with a slow, dangerous fury, distinctly human fury. How many? He asked quietly. How many human worlds are flagged? 7 confirmed. Possibly more. He clenched his fists. The Syndicate had always treated humanity like a wild variable, useful in war, inconvenient in peace. But this is extinction warfare, he said. Yes, Lyra nodded. And you're the only one I know who might help me get this evidence to someone who can use it. Me. Eli blinked. Why me? Because you're the only soldier the Syndicate genuinely fears. He stared at her. Then he shook his head. Fear is too strong a word. No, it isn't, she said. They have a kill-in-sight order for you. He smirked faintly. Good to know. Then the ground shook. Eli grabbed her wrist. Move. Asterisk running with a hume and they sprinted across the ruins as a gunship roared overhead. Its searchlights slicing through smoke. Eli pushed her behind a wall as plasma bolts hammered the stone. You armed? He asked. Lyra shook her head. Great, he muttered. Stay close. He tossed her a compact shock, pistol military grade, human made. She stared. Do you give weapons to all the people you rescue? I still haven't decided if this is a rescue, he said. You might be dangerous, she snorted. I'm a xenobiologist. I've met scientists, he said. They're the most dangerous. Another plasma bolt exploded nearby. Eli grabbed her by the waist and rolled them behind cover. Your heartbeat is too fast, he noted. I'm being shot at. Still too fast. He wasn't mocking her. He was monitoring her. Protecting her. Eli, she whispered. Why are you helping me? Really? He didn't look at her. Because I've spent years hiding from the Syndicate, he said. If what you're carrying threatens human worlds, then running stops tonight. Then he looked at her, and, because you're the first person in years who hasn't tried to kill me in the first 30 seconds, a laugh burst from her despite the terror noted, she said. Asterisk, the last stand at the CRATR reached the crater rim where Eli had hidden his dropship asleep. Angular human craft, half buried under camouflage netting. But between them and the ship, for Syndicate elites, their leader stepped forward. Humming with mechanical menace, human, it growled. Stand aside. The girl belongs to us. Eli stepped in front of Lyra. I don't belong to anyone, she snapped. Eli corrected her gently. You're under my protection now. The elites readied their weapons. Lyra's breath hitched. Eli, don't worry. He rolled his shoulders, cracking his neck. I've handled worse. He hadn't. Not for elites at once. Not while protecting someone else. But Lyra didn't know that, so he fought like hell. Asterisk. Why humans are fairy Dili launched himself forward, moving with brutal efficiency. His blade sang through the air. striking sparks as it clashed against armored plating. One elite fell, then another, but a third caught him across the ribs with a charged staff, sending him crashing into the dirt. Eli. Lyra screamed. The elite advanced toward him, and Lyra did something she never thought she'd do. She fired the shock pistol. The elite convulsed and dropped, breathing hard. Lyra stared at her shaking hands. I hit him. Eli coughed a laugh. Good shot. The last elite roared and charged her. Eli, bleeding and barely standing, intercepted it with a desperate tackle. They crashed near the dropship. He shouted. She didn't. Instead, she grabbed a metal shard of debris and slammed it into the elite's power node. It went still. She stood over its body, panting, terrified, shaking. Eli stared at her. Remind me, he said, to never underestimate a xenobiologist again. Not a CAPTU RE inside the dropship. As Eli set coordinates for a human safe zone, Lyra slumped into a seat. Her hands trembled. Her voice was barely a whisper. Earlier, you didn't answer the question. What question? She met his eyes. Is this a rescue or a capture? He locked the drive into a secure housing and turned to her. This, he said quietly, is a choice. A choice. Yeah. His voice softened. You can hand me the drive, and I'll bring it to the Human Coalition myself. You can stay hidden, start over, disappear. He paused. Or you stay with me, and we expose this together. Lyra's throat tightened. You'd trust me. After one day, Eli looked at hurriedly. Looked, you were running from people who wanted to bury the truth, he said, and you risked your life to save mine. He held out his hand. I trust that more than anything. Lyra looked at his hand, then at her trembling fingers, and she placed her hand in his. I'll go with you, she whispered. All the way. Eli nodded once. Then, Lyra Van, he said, as the dropship lifted into the night sky. This is definitely a rescue.